What's the dumbest true you had in school? No one was allowed to have or say the word Dr. Pepper because it was the password to a shared browser's account the administration found out about. We couldn't wear winter clothing in class, coats, gloves, hats. Even with the heat on, it got cold in the winter inside the school, so we just had to freeze. They said it was because winter clothing were gang symbols. This was a farm town in Wisconsin. My middle school banned hugs. At least, they banned front hugs. The rule was against chest-to-chest contact, regardless of context or gender. No chest bumps after a game. Several girls got in trouble for hugging their female friends goodbye after school. It was a strange place. Edit: to clarify, this was a public school in a suburban area in a liberal part of the country, U.S. I don't remember whether there was a ban against hugs from behind. I'll try to ask some old classmates when I get home and update if any of them remember. School mandated haircuts. Edit: wow. This blew up. It was only for the boys, by the way. For the girls, so long as you didn't color your hair other than its natural hair color, you were good. Checkup was every Monday, when we were lined up, according to height, for the flag ceremony because the school president wanted to share all the good news with us, which ranged from positive events, to one of their staff and students winning awards, etc. The prefect was very strict about it, but the teachers weren't, so we just skipped mornings every few Mondays so we didn't have to get a haircut. No colored shoelaces, apparently it was a sign of gang affiliation. No toe shoes, it looked too much like you were wearing only socks. No eating outside the cafeteria, this was to reduce litter in the hallways, but our school cafeteria could only fit 100-ish people, so everyone ignored it. They tried enforcing it by guarding the cafeteria door so those buying lunch couldn't leave, but then people just stopped buying school lunch. Edit: for clarification. No Simpsons anything. This was when it premiered, and there was this national scare that Bart was a bad influence. There were two popular Bart shirts that were banned, one that said "I'm Bart Simpson, who the hell are you?" and another that said "Bart Simpson, underachiever and proud of it." This eventually evolved into banning all Simpsons shirts, school supplies, stickers, etc. after some of the teachers started watching the show. Needing to wait 10 minutes before and after classes have started to use the restroom. My adolescent body with developing Crohn's disease did not take kindly to this rule, and got into fights with the bathroom monitor often, someone who would make sure nobody was in the bathroom for too long doing drugs, having sex, other things of the sort. Thankfully the principal had a heart of gold and gave me a special pass to use his personal private bathroom, which was so nice and clean. In a high school of 5,000 teenagers, being able to poop in peace at the rate you go with Crohn's disease made my life somewhat less shitty, pun intended. No balls over the diameter of 1.4 feet. My school was weirdly accurate. We still brought in footballs. No balls over 1 foot. Brought in smaller footballs. No balls over 10 centimeters. Brought in tennis balls. No balls over 5 cams. Belted the windows with our dad's golf balls. Eventually got removed due to the fact that the word ball could be misinterpreted. Question mark. Our school banned black socks. It was a public high school in a predominantly poor neighborhood, so the parents didn't give a shit and bought whatever socks were cheapest or didn't have the money to buy all brand new socks again. It got to a point where we'd have whole school assemblies on it and the teachers threatening to suspend kids from school for wearing black socks. No one could wear Joe's Crab Shack shirts. At first it was just the tie-dye ones that said, peace, love, and crabs. Because of the implication of sex and pubic lice, I suppose? It was a stretch. But then they expanded to any Joe's Crab Shack shirts. My friend had to wear a shirt all day because her shirt was a Joe's Crab Shack shirt. It didn't have offensive slogan on it. It just had a picture of a crab and the restaurant's name. She still had to change shirts. She was so embarrassed because no one wants to wear your shirt all day. Clear or mesh backpacks only. This was from first grade through high school in the late 90s to early 2000s. We also had to wear a safety vest as our bathroom pass in high school. It was such a joke that the first year the rule was introduced, our yearbooks were a giant safety vest on the outside. Honestly, the thought of a shared unisex safety vest for bathroom visits still grosses me out, as I know those things were never washed properly. Edit: this was before Columbine happened. Went to a Catholic school where there was a big white line painted across the schoolyard, and during recess boys played on one side and girls on the other. We were not allowed to intermingle during recess even though we weren't separated during class or lunch. I'm a guy and all my friends were girls, so we used to stand at the line and talk, go in trouble many times for that. Also in high school, post-Columbine, we weren't allowed to carry backpacks around the school. We had to leave them in our lockers and carry our heavy-ass textbooks around. Well, 3 of them. No mechanical pencils or any pens that click. Teachers found that shit annoying. No peeing outside the toilet or urinal. Common decency, but if you're caught, you would get a call to your parents. The rule isn't stupid, it's actually really good, but the people who it's targeted at are. Zero tolerance policy. It's in nearly every school. I haven't had any encounters, but it does strike people hard. Imagine getting beat up. And getting punished for being beat up because you happened to be involved even though you did nothing. It's a dick of a rule. Girls couldn't wear tank tops because showing armpits wasn't allowed, but guys could wear wife beaters. Made no sense. No chains on wallets back in the day when chain wallets were the thing, so dudes replaced their chains with pearl necklaces as an FU to admin. No black lipstick allowed. Oh, and they were really concerned about starter jackets and gang activity. This was a small farm town of like 700, total overreaction. Also, most high schools allow you to attend a shorter day if you've met your graduation credits, but we had to sit all day, and sometimes that meant having 2-3 study halls if we had already met requirements. Such a waste of time. When I was a freshman in high school, late 80s, there was a designated smoking area on campus. It was a square, maybe 10x10, painted on the ground in the courtyard. Students could only smoke in that box on campus. The next year they decided that you could only smoke in that box if you had a note from your parents. The year after that, no students were allowed to smoke on campus. My senior year, staff wasn't allowed to smoke on campus. This resulted in the box metaphorically moving to someone's driveway across the street, where students and teachers were all smoking together.